Good morning, class of 2018. Today I'm going to be talking to you about the Senior Capstone Project and all things Senior Project. So today in advisory, you should be receiving your Senior Capstone Project Student Handbook, and you should also be receiving a copy of the Experience Hour Log Tracker, as well as the Senior Presentation Night rubric. So all of the information that you're getting in advisory today will also be available to you online on our Betty Fairfax homepage, and that's what I'm going to be going through with you now and discussing with you today. So on the Betty Fairfax homepage, the way to access this information is to go to the Student tab, and then the first link there for you is Senior Capstone Project. If you select that, it opens up to a new page that has a ton of information for you and additional links. So I'm going to go through this page with you today, as well as review the Senior Project Student Handbook with you as well. So the homepage just has a brief little message for class of 2018, just lets you know a little bit about the Senior Project and lets you know that this website is designed to hopefully assist you as you go through the Senior Project this year. So the first link is the Tuesday workshop link. If you click on that link, there is going to be information here about Tuesday workshops that are upcoming, and this particular link will be updated regularly. So right now we have 4 sessions that have been planned: September 12th, September 19th, September 26th, and October 3rd. These are all happening this first quarter. There are some additional workshops that are planned for next quarter after fall break, and those will be updated as soon as dates are confirmed. So the first workshop that we have is next Tuesday, and it's going to be presented by Kyle Speed from GCU. He is Fairfax's GCU representative. So he's going to be here next Tuesday in the auditorium talking all things GCU. Again, these workshops are during advisory. If you are interested in attending any of these workshops, you need to make sure that you get your agenda signed or stamped. These workshops are available to students who get their agendas signed or stamped. You can get that done through the counseling office, or you can come see Ms. Robertson in room 2208. Some of these workshops will have limited space based on where they are located on campus. So some will be in the community room, some will be in the auditorium, and at times some of them may be in classrooms. So depending on who is coming out and the type of workshop will depend on the location of where it will be held. So the first one is going to be in the auditorium, which means that there is a lot more space available. Again, if you want to attend, please come and get your agenda signed or stamped. I am signing, and so is the counseling. We are signing and stamping for these first 4 workshops. So even if you want to come to the U of A one on October 3rd, I still suggest you come and get your agenda signed and stamped and taken care of before it gets too late. The next thing that I'm going to go over with you on the website is the Senior Capstone Student Handbook. If you click this link, you're going to see that it drops down and there's a couple other additional links attached. So this link has the student handbook that you received today, and I'm going to go over that with you right now. So the front page of the student handbook has a brief little message that this handbook contains requirement descriptors, rubrics, and tools to aid you as you complete your Senior Capstone Project this year. The goal is to evaluate yourself as a learner, professional, and productive member of society. The capstone is broken down into 3 categories: experience hours, portfolio, and public presentation. Please keep this document to refer back to throughout the year. If you lose this document, it can be found online where I just showed you to locate it. Please make sure you fill in your name under student name, fill in who your English teacher is, and also put down your advisory teacher's name. And you can go ahead and do that now. That way, in case you leave it somewhere, your teacher or whoever finds it can give it back to you. The next page is a brief little letter from the project coordinator, just basically telling you a little bit about the senior project and giving you some pieces of advice. I'm going to go through this briefly with you now. Basically, I'm congratulating you on being a senior. Congratulations on entering your senior year of high school. Betty Fairfax High School has had the senior project for a long time now. The senior project was created with the senior student in mind. We want to make sure that you're prepared for the next steps in life as you leave high school, as you're leaving us. So the pieces of advice that I have for you is, number one, don't go into this project believing you have the final answer. A lot of you guys may feel like you know exactly what you want to do with your life, and some of you guys may not even know where to start. The point is to research and explore what you love to do and, what's next for you. So, if you think you know what you want to be and what you want to do after high school, that's wonderful, but be willing to reflect and be willing to grow and learn more about yourself as you're doing this assignment. The second thing that I have in terms of advice is focus on learning from each of the experiences you have this year. So every assignment that goes along with the senior project, I hope that you treat it as an activity where you can really reflect on what you gain from it and kind of what does it tell you about yourself. The next piece of advice is to do your research. Make sure that you spend time researching what comes next. Don't just look at career, look at beyond the career, how to get there, and also what does that career look like on a day-to-day basis. You want to look at that to make sure it's something that really suits you and who you are. Next, number 4, manage your time. If you don't manage your time will manage you. So make sure you have a plan for everything. The next thing is depend on your teachers. Make sure you use your advisory teacher as a resource. Your advisory teachers are wonderful people who have a wealth of knowledge who can definitely help you do a great job on your senior project. Use your senior English teacher as a resource. Our librarian, Mrs. Thompson, she taught seniors last year as well. She's an amazing resource, so you can always go to her in the library to get additional help and assistance. And also, you can always come to me. I'm in room 2208. You can email me. I will answer your email, or you can come and see me in person. And also make sure that you use your counselor as a resource. Your counselor has so much information about college, scholarships, careers. They just have a ton of information that they are excited and ready to share with you. So make sure you seek out your counselors as well. So the best way to approach this project is to just get started. So let's go ahead and move on to the next page. The next page has information about experience hours. I suggest you start looking for those experience hours opportunities now. So if you already know what career you're interested in after high school, whether it's to become an engineer, a doctor, if you want to work in an office, in business, in marketing, in apparel, in technology, whatever the case may be for you, now is the time to start looking for your job shadowing opportunities as well as looking for community service opportunities. So on this particular page, it breaks down the 50 hours that you need. It is 50 hours minimum. Please feel free to do more than that if it so suits you. If you're an IB student, if you're an AVID student, if you are an NHS, there are other clubs and programs that you may be a part of right now that require you to have more than 50 community service hours. And so please don't feel limited by your senior project hours by any means. So 50 hours, 10 hours are coming from research, 10 come from job shadowing, and 30 come from community service. On this page, it breaks down when you need to have your hours completed by, which is April 1st. It talks about that we suggest that you try to do 25 hours per semester. That is suggested. It also mentions where you could find these opportunities, as well as breaks down what each of those categories looks like. So 10 hours of research, what does that look like? Well, it looks like online research. It looks like you completing career surveys. It looks like you doing your annotated bibliography in your English class, as well as completing an interview of a professional in your current field of interest. So it goes through job shadowing as well as community service hours. The next page we're going to go ahead and move on to talks about your portfolio. Your portfolio is a representation of you as a Fairfax student. So what have you done these last 4 years in high school, in your high school career, that has developed who you are, and what can you show us? How can you showcase yourself through your portfolio? So the portfolio basics, it should be reflective, it should represent you, it should look nice, clean, professional. You're going to receive a blue portfolio from your English teacher. If you do not want to use this portfolio, that is totally fine. That is up to you. You can definitely use any portfolio of your choosing as long as it's nice, neat, and professional. Grading process. Your English teacher will grade it. The judges on presentation night will be looking at your portfolio, as well as 3 other individuals on campus of your choosing will be reviewing your portfolio. The required parts of the portfolio are listed below. So you need a cover sheet, table of contents, a cover letter, personal statement, professional resume, 3-letter invites, interview of a professional, experience hour log, and an annotated bibliography. All of these pieces will be broken down to you in your English class. So expect to hear more about each of these items from your English teacher. The next section is the artifacts, personal achievements and accomplishments. This section is all on you. Your English teacher really doesn't have anything to do with the next section. This is a section that displays the extras of what you've done, achieved, accomplished, how you've been awarded. So this is all choice. You need to pick 3 items from the list of your choosing, and there may be things that I have not included on this list that fit into this artifact type category. So if there is something that's not on this list that you feel is a representation of you, then please feel free to include it. If it is a questionable thing, you're not really sure if it fits in, you can always contact me or even talk with your advisory teacher or your English teacher to see if they think it's a good idea for you to include it. So things like letters of recommendation, scholarships, acceptance letters, awards, volunteer hours you've documented, photographs of clubs, events, community service, sports teams, academic elective classes, any kind of work that you've done where you've created or produced something, test scores that were outstanding. You could include your transcript if you so choose, or anything else, like I said, that represents you. The next page is presentation night. This page breaks down all things presentation night. There are 3 dates that you have to choose from. Each student is required to participate in presentation night. You'll pick your presentation night through Sign Up Genius. Presentation night basics is here for you. 6 to 8 p.m. is when presentation night is. Doors open at 5:30 for you to begin setting up. The grading process for presentation night. So guests and judges will be looking at your work, and they'll be asking you questions, and they will be kind of walking through the gym, viewing different people's work, and then you will be graded by one person specifically. So the person that comes up to grade your work, your presentation, your portfolio, they will ask for your rubric, and then once they're done grading your presentation, they will give you a certificate that you've been graded. You'll go ahead and pop that certificate in front of your board or on your portfolio, wherever you so choose. That lets other judges know that you've been officially graded. So I'm going to go over the rubric here with you in a second, and then we'll go over the experience hour log. So the last bit of information on this page is the Sign Up Genius information. I suggest you highlight, underline, make a note. You have to have your Sign Up Genius date picked by March 2nd. If you do not pick your date by March 2nd, so if you don't go online and sign up yourself, your English teacher will pick a date for you based on which night has space left. So there are 140 slots for each night, and after those are all filled up, on night 1, night 2, then you will end up going on night 3 or whatever that may look like. So please make sure you get signed up as soon as you can. So the next page is the Senior Capstone Project timeline. This outlines the basic dates. So there are assignments that you saw on the required portfolio section that will be given to you in English class. those due dates will be given to you by your English teacher. So make sure you look out for that information in your English class. This is just the larger due dates for some of the other pieces of the project. So we're going to go through this real quick, and if you are an agenda type of person, I highly suggest you make notes in your agenda of these particular dates so they don't creep up on you. Again, manage your time. Manage it wisely so that it doesn't stress you out. So the first date is summer of 2017. That was when you were supposed to complete your career surveys online. The next date was August 30th, which was last Wednesday. We were in the auditorium and you had the senior project assembly. Today, September 6th, is when you should be receiving your senior project handbook in your advisory class. So hopefully you got all of this passed out to you today, and we're going over it now. So if you have questions or concerns, remember again who you need to talk with about that to solve any of those concerns or comments or questions that you have. December 1st, that's when you are recommended to have completed your first 25 experience hours. Again, it's recommended. If you so choose to leave your hours until second semester, that is your decision. April 1st, all of them have to be done. So December 1st, try to have at least 25 done. February 23rd is when your portfolio needs to be completed. February 26th to March 9th, that's portfolio review time. So your English teacher will review your portfolio, your advisory teacher will review it, as well as 3 additional staff members of your choosing. So if you had an amazing freshman science teacher, have them review it for you. If you had a wonderful world history teacher, have them look at it for you. Whoever those people were that kind of shaped you as a student these last 4 years, that's who's going to review your portfolio. Maybe it could be your counselor, maybe it could be a principal or an assistant principal rather on campus, maybe it's a coach. So whoever you want to kind of view that, that's your choice. And then March 2nd is when your presentation date has to be picked. Again, if you don't pick, we will pick for you. March 23rd, you need to have your invitation letters completed. All students need to invite 3 people to senior project night. One of them has to be a teacher. The other 2 are your choice. It could be a family member, it could be another staff member. I mean, you could invite all 3 of them could be teachers. Your choice, but one of them has to be a teacher. So your invitation letters need to be written by the 23rd. The following week, the 26th to the 29th, is when you will pass those out to those people. April 1st is when all of your senior project hours are due. April 2nd, you need to have your visual aids from your presentation. They need to be done. And April 2nd through April 6th is the in-class presentations that will happen in English. The following week is when you will have senior project night. So we're going to move on to your experience log and take a look at that. So on the senior project website, there is a copy of the experience hour log as well. So I'm going to go through this with you rather quickly. You need to have your name and your advisory teacher's name at the top. I suggest you fill that in right now. You're going to include the location, the date, as well as the time in and time out and total hours for each event or whatever you want to call it that you log. So if I do a community service event with NHS, I would write where I did that, what day it was, what time I started and stopped, and record how many hours I earned. So I know that Miss Meyer is the NHS sponsor, so I would have her sign off on my log, and I would have her contact information written down, like her email address. And then you would note the activity type, so it would be community service hours. If it were a job shadowing type of deal, I would write that down under activity type, so depending on what it is what you would write down. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to go over with you rather quickly is the rubric. The Senior Project Capstone Night rubric is what you have in front of you, and You will have this on senior project night and you will fill it out. So you'll put your name at the top, you'll put your topic, so whatever your career is, or even if you have like some kind of name that you've created for your project, you would write that at the top. You will circle who your English teacher is, and you will circle which period that you have this teacher. When the judge comes up to grade your project, you will give them this rubric, and they will use it to grade you. They will keep the rubric, and we will sort through those rubrics to give to your teacher. So, for example, if you have Mr. Kramer, all of his rubrics will be sorted by period, given to him, and then he will put that in the grade book based on whatever score you received from the judges on project night. Alright, so we're going to go back to the website. Those are the handouts that you received today. I'm going to go over a couple more things and then we will be wrapping up. So the presentation date sign up link is here. If you click on it, you'll see that there's a link at the bottom of the page. You select that link and it opens it up to Sign Up Genius. So Sign Up Genius has all of the dates, the 3 dates that are available, and you can see that students have already begun signing up. I suggest that you get yourself signed up as soon as possible so you don't end up getting a date that you don't want. So that is available to you online as well. The next link that's available is the Remind Information link. If you select that, it just gives you the little slide here that shows you how to add the Remind app. You text at 2018 BFHS to 81010 and it links you up to the Remind app. I will be sending out Remind information just about basic senior project due dates as well as Tuesday workshop information. I will not be inundating you with tons and tons of updates or reminds or anything like that. It'll just be things that are coming up that you may want to know about, that you may want to sign up for. The next little link here is the Senior Capstone Information PowerPoint. This is what we went over last Wednesday, August 30th at the assembly. So this is the exact PowerPoint that I used that day. You are more than welcome to access it online at any time. You can share it with your parents if they have more questions about the senior project. So this is available for you as well here. The last link on here is the resource link. I will update this page regularly as well as I'm given or as I come across more information that I think would be useful for you. Right now, I have the link to FAFSA. FAFSA opens October 1st. October 1st, I would write this down in my agenda. That is super important for you to remember. October 1st, FAFSA opens. That's when you can start applying. And the earlier you apply, the more money, or the more chance that you have to get the more money that's available out there for you. So, on October 20th, we have our FAFSA College Day on campus, October 20th. That's when we will be doing a FAFSA Fiesta, College Fiesta type of deal on campus. All seniors are going to be encouraged to apply to a school as well as work on FAFSA. But it opens on October 1st. So if you can get yourself started on that day, I suggest that you do. The next website is Finding Opportunities That Fit Your Interests. This is for volunteering. This is volunteermatch.org. It's a great resource if you're looking for ways to volunteer. You can always sign up with your email address, or you can just kind of browse throughout the website as well. So if you're like really interested in animals, you can select on animals, and then you can see what opportunities are available within your community to help animals, and so on and so forth. You don't have to use this website. If you can find community service opportunities on your own, that's great. But if you need a little help, this website's a great resource. College Depot, I've linked College Depot on here. Again, I told you earlier that they would be out on the 19th and 26th this month to come and visit our campus. But they are located at the Phoenix Library, the public library, and they have a ton of information on all things college, all things scholarships. It's a great organization that is there to help you. College Greenlight is a website that helps you to kind of prioritize and organize scholarships that you want to apply for in colleges. ACT and SAT information is here as well. So this is just the ACT.org website, as well as the College Board website as well, and it just gives you a breakdown of when SAT, ACT is happening. So these are all resources for you to use periodically throughout the year. Like I said, I will continually update them for you. So if you have questions, remember you need to talk to your English teacher or talk to your advisory teacher or come and see me. I hope that you have a wonderful day. I hope you have a great day. And remember to be good. Thank you.